Hey there, everybody, and welcome back to the Morehammer podcast, your bi-weekly Warhammer news, topical, all that good stuff podcast for you to listen into and watch on YouTube, of course. As always, I am wargamingluke, one of your hosts. I am joined, as always, too, by our good friends Ben, aka 90% Geek, and Simon, aka Hobby Waffle. How are we doing, guys?
Yeah, hello, how you doing?
Hey everyone. Yeah, good, thank you.
We're surviving. The beacons are lit in the background, as always, for
Cat
sight.
is coming.
Pippin's in there.
Pippin's here. The beacons are lit, says Pippin.
Yeah, that's actually very appropriate. Pippin's turned up just in time. But yeah, we're all here, guys, again for another week to chat through some a bit of news this week, but also the next episode that we'll come up to will be just after Adepticon, so we're going to do some predictions this week for you guys. A bit blind, aside from kind of our own predictions, because they usually kind of leading up to a couple of weeks, don't they, before Adepticon, tend to give a bit of a tease.
Yep.
We haven't quite had that yet, so we are going in blind. So
we'll get that tomorrow because we're recording.
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
you just know that's going to happen, don't you?
Yeah.
If we'd recorded this last night, like we normally do, then it would have been today that they would have put the Adepticon previews.
If they do that, I'll put out a short later next week of me commentating over like in comical way or something over the over the predictions. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. But we'll give it a shot.
Ensuring that Games Workshop give you the previews by doing our video the night before.
Exactly. But yeah, we'll give it our best shot today, guys, anyway. And then, of course, we've got our hobby updates as always. March from a Crag is ongoing, so we'll see as well if Ben's up to anything as well for the month. We'll see. And what you guys have been up to as well. And then I think we'll see what else we've got, I suppose, later on. But otherwise, guys, just off the top here, if it's your first time listening to us or watching us, make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube and following us if you're listening on Spotify. And, of course, make sure that you're joining our Discord channel if you're interested in that sort of thing. Get involved in our community in between episodes, especially with like March from a Crag and stuff going on. You can send your progress on your Marines over there to us so we can get it included on it'll be the next episode, I think, to celebrate that. But yeah,
which will be in April by the time we get to that.
It will, yeah. Well, I mean, I think the Warhammer official one's usually April as well, to be fair.
April from a Crag, no, it doesn't quite work.
April from a Crag, yeah. But yes, so there's all that going on. Join us there. But otherwise, I suppose mostly, to be honest, probably you, Ben, because I know you missed the last one with hobby updates, really.
Yeah.
So we can start with you because I got your photos you sent it anyway.
Cool.
And starting out with this badass.
Yeah, so I'm continuing my Spyros. I think last time when we had hobby update, I'd done the Spyro Gang Champion. Continuing the Spyros, I've got the Malkador Spyro done, or Malkador, I'm not sure which one it's called, Spyro done. I'm really pleased with how he's come out. In particular, I watched a little tutorial on the Warhammer community, kind of Warhammer TV YouTube channel on how to do the green kind of sloshing toxin vials for webcasters. And I'm really pleased with how they've come out. Yeah, so I got that done, and then I also managed to get the Yelled done as well. So continuing the every Spyro should be a Spider-Man villain vibe. This one's converted with a couple of missile gauntlets, but otherwise rocking the kind of Vulture from Spider-Man look. And I've got the Aurus most of the way done on my painting table, but then I got distracted by the next thing that's going to pop up on there, which is I am painting a 500-point Beasts of Chaos or Beastmen's force for Warhammer the Old World. I've been invited by some of the lovely people I know over on Blue Sky, who I was previously friends with on Twitter, to go to a kind of a one-day thing at Warhammer World in April. We're going to play 500 points using the combat kind of border patrol kind of rules. So that's one character, 500 points, minimum 2 core, no more than 4 units, and only one either special or rare, and only one war machine. So it's kind of a really kind of boiled down version of kind of Warhammer the Old World. It was originally designed for Warhammer Fantasy 6th edition, and they've kind of adapted it up. But it's going to be really cool to kind of meet some of the guys like Stannis and some of the others who I've kind of been friends with online for years, but never met face to face. And it's going to be quite cool to meet up and game with them. So I'm doing my beasts on kind of a foresty base, and I've delved into my terrain box to kind of just try and design something that actually looks like kind of the woodlands of the old world. And this is the tester base, which got kind of a top-down shot
Very cool.
of the Beastman here. I'm really pleased with how that's come out. Kind of a mix of a little bit of lichen and tree bark and kind of all kinds of different stuff. I think I'm most pleased with the leaves, which I did using a Green Stuff World kind of leaf punch, kind of hole punch type thing.
Well done.
But I got basically just a piece of paper, and then I just went a bunch of different kind of leaf-colored contrast paints. So like a splash of Nazdrag yellow over one bit of the paper, a splash of like Agrax, not Agrax, the Dunes one, the Agaros Dunes. That's the fella. Agaros Dunes over another bit. And just kind of splashing different kind of colors on the paper to see how they looked, and then punching out the leaves.
Wow,
and
that's good effort, man. I've got to say, because
woodland base.
You can get hold of different base and bits, can't you? So that'll give you that. That's good effort. To be able
I was really pleased with those come out. So yeah, I've got those really good, on the go. So it's going to be 10 Gore, 10 Bestigore, and then 3 Minotaurs and the Beast Lord. Hopefully I'll get all painted in time for beginning of April. So yeah, that's been my hobby update. The Spirers will get finished once I've finished painting the Beastmans.
There's always some sort of distraction, isn't there?
There is. There is, absolutely. I had hoped to get the Spirers done before I started the Beastmen. But yeah, the Beastmen have got a very strict kind of time period, whereas I'm not going to get to use the Spirers probably until late April, I would think. Oh, and I've been making some Necromunda scenery as well for the Spirers to fight over. I was doing that in between while I was waiting for the stuff to dry on the Spirers. I was just slapping some paint on some of my Necro scenery. But that's, again, sat to one side for now whilst the Beastmen get done.
Nice. And you're going to go up against some Wood Elves, I hope, and
slay
some Wood Elves.
My friend Michael, who is regularly kind of hitting battle reports and stuff, and who's on the Discord as Funkadrom, has said he'll give me a game kind of to try them out before I head up to Warhammer World for the kind of one-day thing. So he's worked out a 500-point Wood Elf list to do classic enemies of the Beastmen.
It's one of my favourite rivalries in Old World, that for sure. That'd be interesting to see how that goes. How you get on with that. Sai, did you have you got anything to update us on since the last episode?
Not particularly, to be honest. I've built a few different things. I keep getting distracted. I've had 2 weeks of distraction. The main thing I've been doing for the last 2 weeks is getting stuff together that I keep thinking, no, I'm not going to sell that. I need that. I'm going to keep that. I'm not going to sell that. I'm putting it together and actually having what's the word? Actually getting it over the line and getting it on eBay, because I really don't need it, to be honest. Like, I end up with 2 copies of Leviathan because I'm stupid. So I sold the Stern Guard and the Apothecary and the Phobos Lieutenant out of one of them. So I still got a couple of the Marines, and I've got the Tyranid half, and my intention was to sell the box and the book and the Tyranid half. And then I just ended up keeping it. I thought, if I do a Tyranid army, I might want all them. I might want those bits. I might want those Marines. But no, I don't need it. So stuff like that.
Terminator models are still really nice from that as well, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. But I've still got my original Tyranid half as well, which I'm still on the sprues. So I thought, no, I don't need it. So just stuff like I've been clearing out some space, especially if I am going to be getting high elves, and especially if I am going to be getting something else that I've got my eye on. I need space and I need the funds. So that's what I've been doing for the last 2 weeks, really, just having a bit of a clear out and trying to be sensible about things. I bought a load of really useful boxes to put my stuff in, the magnetic sheets at the bottom.
Yeah.
Put the this on the bottom. Yeah. So I've got stuff compacted into those boxes now as well. There's still some cardboard boxes behind me that you can see there. That's my eBay pile ready to go. So Kill Team Octarius still sat there sealed in the box that needs to go, because I bought 2 copies of that for the Kriegers. But I didn't touch the second box. It's still sealed in the Warhammer box that it got delivered in. So,
but if you keep it long enough, maybe put it in one of the really useful boxes and stick it in the loft or something, and then like 10 years or something, it'll be on an episode of How Much. It'll be like, how much?
Well, there is a couple of boxes where I've done that, and I've put them in the loft. Dark Vengeance is in the loft, sealed up.
Okay.
Space Hulk from 2009's up there as well. So things like that. So yeah, I'm eBaying. I've built a couple of Marines. Heavy Intercessors. That's it.
Okay, cool. Nice. It's one of the things
last time I spoke to you. Last time we spoke, you think you were doing a load of bolt action stuff?
Yes, yeah. I've been back to the club. You missed it on the last one. I went back.
I did, unfortunately.
We had another game again. I got beat this time because I just went with the wrong game plan completely. But I still had a lot of fun. It was good. Yes, I'm still building my bolt action force, ready for a league that's starting in May. So yeah,
Cool.
that's ongoing as well. I built everything; it just
Nice.
needs painting.
I've got to end up at some points. I doing the same with like magnetite. I've got to mostly for my tubs with because I've got like divider tubs that all my infantry go in, so they don't really need magnetizing. That's nice. They kind of just stay
Yeah.
compartmentalized. But I do need to. I have bigger tubs which have like my monsters in or
Just
like
4-litre really
that sort of
useful
stuff.
boxes,
Yeah.
or the
but
9-litre ones I use for terrain or anything big, like dreadnoughts
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But they
that's
just stack on
why
top of each other in the corner, so it's dead handy.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing as well. But I do need to magnetize the ones with the bigger stuff in it because when they hit each other, otherwise it's just a nightmare. So
Yeah.
and whenever I'm transporting them, I just have to like really delicately put them in everywhere, and it's definitely needs doing, but it's a time thing. So hey ho,
That's it.
We'll have to wait and see.
So that's why I've been doing it instead of hobbying. I've been organising.
Yeah, no, I completely get that for sure. For myself, not a hell of a lot really either. Progress on. Oh, sorry, Ben, I did forget to ask. March from a Crag, do you have any plans at all? A mini, maybe?
Had plans, and then real life stuff got in the way.
Yeah.
I had a whole plan of doing like one of the characters from the Stormcast range in my Ultramarine
Oh,
kind
okay,
of
cool.
Stormcast theme, the Avenging Suns Stormhost chamber, and yeah, just no, I've
Gone out the window kind of thing.
I've got a Beast's army to paint, and then when that's done, the Spire is to finish. I will take a pass on March from a Crag for this year.
Yeah, well, it's not always doable, is it, to be fair? I had many plans as well for it, and it's been reduced down to a unit this time, so there we go, it happens.
I'm painting like Marnius Calgar and the Honor Guard and a whole bunch of stuff.
Well, we'll see how far I get with it. At the very least, it'll be Marnius and the Victrix Honor Guard, but I'd like to get the, if I have the time, to get the others done as well, the Blade Guard veterans. But, I mean, originally, like, couple of months back I wanted to do another 1,000 points, but
yeah, that was the original. Well, that was your plan for this year, wasn't it? Was to do 1,000 points of.
I mean, that will happen, but like just not by the end of March, sadly. Other things have gotten in the way and didn't completely forgot how busy a month it is. Oh, cool. Yeah, we'll have a chat about that in a minute, because I've got up one of the news things. Obviously, we've got is the reveal, so we'll chat about that in a bit. Don't worry.
After last time's podcast, appropriately.
Yeah, I know. Ironically, yeah.
But
yeah, sadly I haven't had a chance to play any more of it. But I plan to. It's just a case of time this month. I've had so many different things on. However, I have mostly gotten done Marnius. He's got to have a bit more work done on the basing and stuff, but. And a couple of deck elves turned some touching up, but yeah, pretty pleased with him so far. He's coming out nicely.
He's ready.
Have you gone with yellow rather than gold on like the Eagle stuff then?
No, the gold I'm using is just like a very bright gold. I've used it on all my Ultramarines. It's quite bright.
Because it does look like the traditional kind of yellow and blue Ultramarines.
Yeah. That's kind of why I went for it originally, because I tested a few on it, because obviously it's speed paint that I'm using with a few touches up here and there with normal paints, but. I do quite like the original kind of look to it. So
it's red bolt guns as well, just to round out that.
That would be pretty cool. Yeah.
Do you see what Tyler Mengel did for a really nice yellow gold? So it's not
what's he done?
Retributor armor and then Nazdrag yellow over the top.
Ooh, okay,
okay.
That's interesting.
It's a nice yellow gold. He did it for his Helling
to see how that comes out.
Really good.
Yeah. I'd be interested to see how that kind of comes out.
Yeah, much try
but yeah, I'll be interested. Hopefully this week, if not next week, get the Victrix Honor Guard done. Maybe if I get a chance the last week or so. Usually with these things, if I get a free whole day, I'll smash out a ton of stuff. It's just a case of we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But even if I get this guy and the Victrix Honor Guard done, it's going to look pretty cool for March from a Crag. So there we go on that one. No games for me, though, in the last couple of weeks. But I do have to make up for it because I'm on holiday end of this month, beginning of April. So in between time, this week is mostly the only time I'm going to have. So I've got an old world game planned for Thursday night and another game for Friday night that I don't know what that's going to be yet. We'll see. But I'm going to be playing some Skaven against, I think, Tomb Kings. So I'll update on that next time.
Cool.
Should hopefully be good fun. But I think, Ben, what time is it for? Or what?
And now the news.
What time is it for?
What for is the time?
He can speak a proper English.
I can.
Slow you down.
We're gonna jump into Heresy because we've got a couple of Heresy
Some gorgeous
side
stuff come
reveals.
out from the Heresy this last bit.
We've actually had some nice, I think, mini reveals.
Yeah.
Some lovely minis
Oh
reveals.
yeah, this is Mr.
This
Filigree, isn't it?
So nice.
Asta Crone, yeah. Of the
Looks-
is it Ninth Legion?
Yeah, is it the Ninth Legion? Funny. It almost looks like Primaris armor, like a really tarted up version of Primaris armor. Maybe it's just the really like, tall shins.
If it wasn't for the blood drops, you could easily, and obviously the Blood Angels iconography, this would look good in an Empress Children pre-Heresy army as well.
Yeah, no, definitely.
All
I
that
can easily
fancy
see that.
gold filigree and stuff.
Yeah. Oh, it's just so pretty. This is
It is a
one of the
beautiful model, yeah.
nicest Heresy models I think they've done in quite some time.
Because the second half of the year, want to try and achieve one of our New Year's goals that we set. And one that I did for myself was obviously a new Heresy army. And every week that we get a new model revealed with Heresy, it changes my mind as to what army I want to go for. Because there are some really nice new character minis being revealed every week.
Just collect all the character minis.
Yeah.
Just have them like Lego minifigures
that's-
on a shelf.
You know what? Yeah, it's not a bad shout. So to be fair, I might do something like that, and maybe you guys by the end of the year will be give me some leeway and say, well, you've basically done kind of an army worth of models. I've just kind of collected lots instead. We'll see.
Just do like
That's
a
not a
Shattered
bad
Legion
shout.
or something, and then just paint a bit.
Yeah,
of
instead of
everything
collecting
fancy.
Funko Pops, collect these.
Yeah. Because I definitely want to get one of the Primarchs to do so, for sure. And some of these characters are gorgeous. But yeah, this guy's cool. And obviously, in the lore, from what I've read anyway, I don't know a hell of a lot about him, but he was on the edge of death. He's been on the edge of death multiple times, right? So, like, he's
de jour for Blood Angels. It's just kind of their shtick.
Yeah. So he's like, his thing is effectively, if he, I think, dies or runs, then instead on a 4-up, you can bring him back in reserves with 1 wound left, which is really fun. So I'm sure it'd be great to use on the tabletop as well. And like you say, very Blood Angels.
Very, very nice model as well.
Indeed. Moving on to some Imperialis. I think it's been a little while, I swear, since we've seen too much Imperialis, actually.
Yeah, not since they released the Mechanicum box. I don't. Oh no, the Dark Mechanicum stuff we saw, didn't we, at the end of last year?
Yes. Yeah. We've got some Mechanicum Knights.
Yeah, some new knights. Magira and the Styrics, I think it is Styrics or whatever you want to call it. I noticed the if you look at these pictures, the side-on view where it shows the weapon, they muddled the weapons up, haven't they?
Have they?
So the one with the lightning cannon has got the Volkite in a side view, and the one with the Volkite has got the lightning cannon in a side view.
Yeah,
which really confused me when I was looking at it. I do like those claws though, the grabby claw.
They're cool.
The claw.
But they've said that these will have rules for Titanicus as well. So
yeah, I wish they'd have painted them in like a different scheme than what they've gone for here. It's just a bit bland.
This is the Morak scheme. Isn't this the same one that they did the actual 40k scale ones in? Or 30k
Very
scale
possibly,
ones in?
yeah.
like a flesh kind of theme.
Yeah, it's kind of, I would guess it's Rakoth flesh then maybe.
Yeah, it reminds me of like
with
a
Seraphim's
Necron
maybe?
flayed ones type colour in a way. Yeah, pretty cool. And something new for Imperialis, I guess.
I'm assuming
And
I
Titanicus.
didn't catch it last time. I'm assuming you guys did the Raven Guard character last time, did you?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, we did.
Because that is the
KD,
other.
KD's next, yeah.
That is the other heresy model that they've released recently that I looked at and went, "Oh, that's so nice."
Yeah,
That is
really cool.
like that and the Blood Angels one. I was kind of looking at going, I'm not sure which one I like more.
This is what I mean. They're just, but end of last year, beginning of this year, predictions from sort of Horus Heresy. Because what was the one where we got the lackluster sort of roadmaps, and Heresy was just one of the worst. It was like really appalling. Yeah,
Heresy is also a game.
I don't know
more
who
tanks and
decided
something new every week, but then
Yeah. I don't know who
We've
made
seen
the
that many
decision
times since then.
to put that on the Heresy roadmap, because it's just because we've
Yeah.
even in the first few months of the year we've had so many cool reveals really. So
Well, that's it. I mean, we
yeah.
had like a console almost every week.
Yeah, so that's it for that. We've got some Necromunda model reveals as well.
Oh, are we? Vandor, there he is. The
Oh
boy
yeah,
himself.
Vandoth the
So
Fallen.
this is
Speaking
clearly a
about Blood
space
Angels,
marine. isn't it?
Not only that, he's wearing scout armor. If you scroll down, you can see like the knee
Yeah.
pads around the legs.
So he's wearing the scout armor from the
Yeah.
very early versions of the scout. So if you look on the front cover of Tyranid Attack, I don't know if you'll be able to find it in double quick time, Luke, but the scouts on that picture that are holding the missile launcher, the knee pad armor is exactly the same. However, some people have also pointed out though, the knee pad looks like the new Mark III armor. You know, the refreshed Mark III armor that they did for Heresy.
Oh, that's true.
The knee
You
pads
on
are the
about
same as that
the-
as well, because
You
you
on
could
about
argue that
the
he's got
box
his
cover art? Sorry.
he's got his ports on his body, so he's got his black carapace perhaps.
Yeah, but I thought scouts had the black carapace. They just didn't get the full power armor yet.
Oh,
know
it
about
wasn't maybe. Sorry, no, it wasn't that one. Not Tyranid
okay.
Attack. It's
High fleet.
oh, what's it called with the scouts on the front, Ben?
Yeah, is that
On the box.
Oh, Lost Patrol.
Advanced Space Crusade, was it?
Well, maybe or the Lost Patrol.
God
Yeah.
knows. But yeah, it's cool.
I like the fact that if you look at the knife, it's actually got like the little
It's got a blood drop and the Roman numeral for 9.
did not
So
see
yeah.
Yeah, so he's got a 9th Legion.
Whoever's
combat
painted it's like
blade.
Blood Angels. Here we go. And an old school. Is that a 4-boss bolter as well?
It is. It's an older style bolter, which does make you wonder how long has he been on Necromunda.
But the new Mark III armor has got exactly the same knee pads. So it's very interesting.
I was racking my brain when I saw it was scout armor. I was thinking, okay, which Blood Angel scouts do we know that hurt? Oh, Blood Quest. Scout Lysander was the only surviving member.
It's a nice throwback to Confrontation as well, isn't it? With that Blood Angel or Blood
yeah,
Drinker.
when he's standing and shooting at the horde of cultists.
Yeah, Blood Drinker, like point blank range, is gunning them down.
It
might have been Advanced Space Crusade, Luke, with the picture of the scouts on the front, where they've got like the American football style makeup on their eyes.
Yeah.
But yeah, cool model. I think it's very, very cool.
It's really cool model. It's one of the best Necromunda models they've done in a long time. This is going to be extremely popular.
Although
it's going to be out of stock for years.
They have little vials of blood as well on his bandolier.
The only thing that's quite sad is if you look at the rules for him, I went and had a look in the Book of Ruin, the rules for him, he's not actually that hard. I mean, like he's got three wounds, 3 attacks, and he's got strength and toughness 4. But I mean, like you look at your average Spyro. Your average Spyro has got comparable or better stats to him, and it feels like a Spyro should not be as good as a Space Marine. I was looking at this and going, okay, he should have a whole bunch of special rules to make him even more of a hard ass.
Yeah, he's got a few decent skills, doesn't he? But yeah,
he does. I mean, he's got Spring Up, which means he's not going to get pinned, and he's got like Fearsome and Crushing Blow and stuff. So he is pretty rough and tough in kind of combat. But I mean, you compare him to like an Horus or something, and yeah, he's going to struggle.
Well, I suppose some of
perhaps
these things
he is only
like...
a scout, not a full battle brother.
Yeah. That's very true.
I'm going to look it up. I'm sure it was Advanced Space Crusade.
If it is, let me know. I can always get the picture up. So
one nice touch is that his bolt gun's got a better ammo rating than all the other bolt guns in the game because it is an actual proper Astartes bolt gun.
Special one,
nice.
yeah. That's cool. Sticking with Necromunda though, and personally for me, I prefer these models, and I think this one's awesome.
Is this the one from today?
Yeah, I think these are just ace for me anyway. Because I love the whole idea of like the rogue trader kind of things where you get these different mixed character models. It's new Abyssal Ferrymen and notable ones in Hagthor Jarlun and Asta Felstern, of which Asta, I believe, is the one on the front of the actual
Book of Desolation.
Book.
Yeah.
It's the one when that book came out, we were saying who's that on the front, weren't we?
Yeah,
I remember saying it in the podcast, and that's who
I remember
it
you
is.
saying so, yeah. And now, lo and behold, we've actually got the mini out for the who it was.
Awesome bionic arm as well that she's got.
Oh yeah, so cool. These are these remind me again. I can't remember what it was we were talking about last time. Maybe it was me and you, Si, the last episode. These kind of give me the Blackstone Fortress mini vibes as well, that sort of thing.
Yeah,
very Rogue Trader-esque as well. And also very like Gotrek and Felix vibes, but for like Necromunda.
Yes. Come on, man, Link.
Yeah. And their lore sounds really fun as well. I kind of hope they maybe release more stories on these. Maybe get a new book or something on them. But
You have
pretty
just given
cool.
me an idea now. So the Abyssal Ferryman rules in the Book of Desolation, you can obviously design your own Abyssal Ferryman.
Yeah, yeah.
And I do now want to make like a squat slayer and like an upspire, noble poet that are
Cool.
venturing into the Secundus to seek his doom. That would be an awesome segue. I might have to do that.
For sure. It's one of these things, Necromunda, where we get all these gorgeous minis, and for me, I just wish I had that much bit more time. Like, I wish I was retired already or something, just so I could literally indulge myself in campaigns and stuff with this game.
Spend your time doing that kind of stuff.
Oh, absolutely. And tons of conversions and all sorts. But hey ho, we dream. But yeah, the detail on these minis is great.
I've just sent you that picture of the scouts. You look at that leg armor and have a look at Vandoth the Fallen's leg armor.
Oh yeah.
I get what you mean. I'll just share it so everybody can actually see what we're on about.
Yeah, and the shoulder pad as well.
So we're going back here to the
Vandoth the Fallen.
Vandrat, yeah. I can see what you mean. That's pretty cool. God, these guys are funny looking now.
We're like talking Ian Watson, Space Marine era here.
They're fun though. But yeah, sorry, go. So, Sai, thoughts on these?
Yeah, I mean, I'm Asta, nice looking miniature. There's something about it that's putting me off. I can't put my finger on what it is though. I think a head might be a tad too small. I'm not sure in comparison to the rest of the body, but it could be like all the kit around the waist and the tabards and stuff like that. Yeah, I don't know. But the
pistol feels a little too small. The pistol feels like it should be bigger. The gun that she's holding feels like
possibly that as well. I don't know. The scale just seems off in different places. I don't know. It might just be the way it's pictured, photographed, I should say. The squat, I love him. I think he's awesome.
I think I personally, these are two of my favourite minis we've seen from Necromunda.
I like the whole idea of the ferryman and stuff like that, like escorting them down into the Hive Secundus and stuff like that.
Yeah, very cool. But yeah, some great new minis for Necromunda, and obviously characters as well to bring in, which is just awesome. And again, wish I had way more time to be able to make the most of them, but there we go. Coming out of sort of mini reveals, one quick thing I wanted to touch on that they did announce, which confirmed, I wouldn't even say rumours at this point, but pretty much already, was that demons are pretty much just going to be whittled down to the new Chaos Codexes in 40k that we haven't come out this year now, and they're going to stay as a demon army in the index, but they won't get their own codex officially anymore from their current plans anyway.
I guess there are 6 Chaos Codexes by this point. There's Chaos Space Marines, Knights,
makes sense.
And then the 4 Traitor Legion specific ones.
So yeah, I just thought I'd bring that up and just see if anybody had any thoughts on it, whether they like it or dislike it. I think it makes sense. The only thing that does disappoint me a bit, I do prefer the demon side of Chaos, and I do prefer to play demon only lists.
See, I'm the complete opposite.
I know some people are and some people are on either side of it. So to see that we're not going to get, and obviously more of the minis are disappearing for the demon side of things, like we're losing the chariots for Slanesh, and they've mentioned in here that a lot of the stat lines now from the index are going into legends, which I know you can technically still use legends in your own play, but it's like, a bit disappointing for me being a demons fan, but I know why they're doing it. I think they're slowly itching GW, I think, to get rid of demons really in a way, as much as they can, purely for the sales reason. I don't think they've ever liked the fact that you can buy demons for their multiple games. So there is that aspect of it as well. I do get that. But yeah, as they've said here, they've made some changes basically to the index, though, to effectively give you that kind of new codex feel, I guess, in a way. New detachment and everything to be able to play Bellicor with his own detachments. That's pretty cool. So I haven't actually had a look at this myself yet in detail, but I'll look forward to.
I've taken a look through when they first posted it, and It is interesting that they've kind of tried to give you the equivalent as if they did do a full-on Demons Codex. And I feel like maybe it might be one of those things. If they've said that they're going to keep releasing not data sheets, what's the word? Detachments, like they did at Grotmus. They're going to keep every quarter now. They said they're going to release a bunch more.
Yeah, they actually just released some more, didn't they?
They did, which is quite cool. But I mean, that might mean that they can also then, if they feel like it in the future, add like an extra demon detachment or something.
Yeah, for sure.
Like if they released some new demon models for Age of Sigmar and decided they wanted to give you some rules to use them in, as legends or whatever in 40k. That would be the kind of scope for them to do so, which I think it is better than getting nothing at all, which is for many years, what we got with definitely. A lot of armies. You're like a White Dwarf index list, and that was it. And they have really tried to give you the equivalent of a Demon's Codex. It's just for free. So that's cool.
And just to add to that, Ben, they have said like they're gonna keep updating for foreseeable future at the very least. The Chaos Demons Index, and as well as they've said, you can obviously still get hold of the Deathwatch one. So I'm as a Demons fan like that, I'm happy enough with that. And at the end of the day, I'm not having to buy a codex, and they're going to update the index. So
yeah, I mean you get it for free basically.
Yeah,
which is kind of cool.
I'm mostly happy with it. To be fair, it's just the sad thing that I know they're going to keep trying to get rid of different demon models, which is a bit sad. But there we go. But yeah. There's that, and then Sai, we come on to it, and sadly, like I say, it dropped just after the last episode, which was because it was only me and Sai. We decided to have a bit of a catch up on Space Marine 2 talk, because we're playing a lot more of it now, and then just afterwards, Space Marine 3 officially gets announced by the same team. Still a ways off, but it is now in early production.
A couple of years they've said, haven't they? But yeah,
at least.
Yeah, the little teaser video they did with the rainfall was quite interesting.
I didn't watch that site actually. No.
So there's a little teaser video as well. It's only about 40 seconds, but it's just basically that logo that you see there, but with the sound of like rainfall. So what they're trying to hint at there, I don't know. Or maybe it's just they just thought, just stick some random sound effects on it.
Maybe they're trying to go for like a bit of a. I mean, I haven't completed it yet. I know you have the story. I'm very close.
Yes, I've done the campaign.
I haven't started it
things
yet.
That I don't.
I finished the campaign the day they announced this, so I was like,
cool.
Crying out loud.
But I know I've been chatting to you, Sai, as well, and we were saying about what we think they might do with the third game in terms of like where they're going to go with the villains this time. And I said the same thing as you. I thought they might go back to the orcs. Because I know, in the first game, that was a big thing that they.
I think there's probably going to be two enemies again. It'll be orcs to begin with, but then maybe someone else comes in. Like I speculated, Dark Eldar, Dukari, cool. Maybe, or maybe the Awakening Necron Tomb World with all the Warin and Daka above ground. The Necron's like, what's going on up there?
Keep the noise down.
Yeah, exactly. But you don't know. It'd be nice if there was. I'm going to go for a wild card guess. So not just Titus as the playable character, but another character as well, and you split the campaign between the two, and then that will also, if they're doing the same thing with operations, you and Titus and one squad do one operation, and then this other protagonist and another squad does another one.
I wonder if they might. That's not a bad shout. I kind of actually hope they might do something more like that, like maybe flashbacks to missions from around the time of the first game, where you have more missions with the orcs. Then maybe you go to the time of the current game, where you have a few more with Tyranids. Maybe they can actually mix different new factions then into his other kind of things that have happened, and it all combines into one thing at the end.
It may also follow on from the secret level episode that Titus was in, because. The secret level episode takes place after Space Marine 2. So it could follow on from
and
that.
I'm sure Chaos will be involved in some way or other again, because
I would
that's
imagine
the whole story
so,
of him. So we'll have to wait and see until we get more news on that. But very
exciting. The ending was pretty awesome of the campaign, I've got to say. If you're an Ultramarines fan, you'd be fizzing near the end, because there is one epic moment which is just like, I need to do that again.
I've seen people share images of it. I don't know exactly what yet because I haven't played that part, but I mean, people have said it's pretty amazing, so I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, we'll be excited to see when we get more news on this. But for now, it's just excitement levels really. Aside from that, though, guys, that is the majority of the news we've got, really. We've got our predictions for Adepticon, if we want to get into that.
Yeah.
Let's do
I
it.
do have up as well, just for kind of a visual thing more than anything, and to help remind us, I guess, the the actual more roadmaps that we had last time from Vegas Open, to give us an idea what's coming. First, I've actually got the old world up here, guys, so I'll share that.
Let's do it.
And of course,
Beastmen.
Beastmen. Beastmen then Wood Elves are next, aren't they? So
Yeah.
we're thinking Beastmen next. We obviously had the character revealed, didn't we? LVO?
We've had the character revealed. I'm fully
Yeah, I
expecting
mean-
that Adepticon there will reveal basically everything that's coming, kind of, a proper splash of, hey, here's, all the kits that are returning. Here's what the main toward is going to be. Give us a real kind of launch splurge for what Beastmen are going to have in advance of them then getting kind of like they did with the High Elves, like they did with the LVO with the High Elves, and then we've had a few weeks of kind of High Elf releases. I'm fully expecting that they'll do the same thing with Adepticon with Beastmen before them releasing the Beastmen.
Yeah, we've not had wave 2 or the other made to order waves for the High Elves yet, have we? So I'm expecting them to be
No.
announced this coming
Beforehand.
weekend,
Yeah.
ready for the following Saturday. But yeah, I'm in agreement. Old World, it'll be Beastmen. I don't think they'll do a Wood Elf preview at the end like they did with the Kralmore guy. I think it'll just be Beastmen for Old World, and that'll be it.
I'm not sure that it's going to be just Beastmen. I think that they might do like a sneaky teaser for Cathay.
Do you think
Like,
so?
like just an image or something, like, or a splash
I'll keep
5
teasing
second teaser thing. Yeah, I think
What you think?
possibly.
might
Almost
Cathay
like they
tease.
did with Emperor's Children. They've been
Yeah,
doing that, haven't
basically.
they? Yeah,
Yeah, they could
I
do.
I wouldn't say no to that. I think that's probably a decent.
The only
shout.
other thing they might do is that Wood Elf blister pack that appeared on eBay. Do you remember
Yeah.
with they could
3
maybe
characters.
tease that as an image because it's already been leaked anyway. So
They could, but that doesn't show anything new. And I think if you were going to do a tease,
True.
you need the tease like
It-
they did with Crowlmore. Here is the one Wood Elf.
I do agree with that, to be fair, Ben, because that's another very big. Like we haven't
gonna be
had a
huge
brand new
items.
full model release army for the old worlds.
Yeah.
In what?
Ever.
Yeah,
I
like
think the last time they released an entirely new army for Warhammer Fantasy was like when the Bretonnians and Lizardmen dropped back
Yeah.
in 5th edition.
So,
Well, I suppose you
know,
could say Tomb Kings, but Tomb Kings, to be fair, were just kind of a spin-off of Warhammer Undead. An entirely new, never before seen army.
yeah,
It's
exactly.
going to be massive.
So yeah, as the year goes on, the hype's really they're going to want to build the hype as much as it's already there anyway. So yeah, we'll wait and see on that, and we'll be very excited to see. But yeah, otherwise, Beastmen, we'll have to wait and see what we get with that.
I'm looking forward to that. Funnily enough.
I will be too. I tell you what, the one army I will go for in the old world currently that isn't what I've got with Tomb Kings would be Beastmen. So who
They're a lot of
knows?
fun to paint.
Yeah. So maybe they'll snatch me with the new battalion box. We'll have to wait and see. But we move on to the World of Warhammer 40,000.
Yeah.
And we're still obviously within this whole Chaos release thing.
yeah, so we got World Eaters, Death Guard, and Thousand Suns.
Yeah.
I think they'll all release within a close time for each other. I've just done a video on Thousand Suns and Chaos. It's mainly focused on Thousand Suns, but also World Eaters and Death Guard. So Death Guard, I think we know what's coming. It's Lord of Poxes. We saw it. It got released early, didn't it? So they revealed him at
Accidentally splashed.
LVO by accident. I don't think they're going to get anything else, to be honest. I think they're just going to get him and the Codex, maybe one other thing. World Eaters is an interesting one because the Goremongers...
Well, they've got the Corn guys in the Kill Team box, haven't they?
Yeah, the Goremongers. So they're getting
yeah.
40k rules. But in terms of new miniatures, there was a low snippet from White Dwarf a while ago about a butcher surgeon or surgeon butcher. So that could be interesting.
Yeah, like a kind of
maybe they'll bring
apothecary responsible for hammering the nails in.
Or if it's they need to do Kargos Bloodspitter the same way they did Azrak the Annihilator. They need to do that piece of art with Kargos where he's holding the power fist.
Yeah,
and chainsaw. They need to make that miniature. World Eaters, maybe World Eaters Terminators is a long shot. Maybe they'll get
Red
them.
Butchers. That would be very cool.
Some 40k equivalent. And then there's that old Jess Goodwin sketch, isn't there? Teeth of Corn with the Corn Trooper with the heavy weapon on his shoulder.
Ooh, I don't know if I remember that. I might have to see if I can find it.
I've got it here. I will put it on the Discord so you can share it.
Cool.
It is an excellent picture. Is it this
Okie
one?
dokie.
There you go.
Yeah.
So back in the day, you did get Khorne berserkers with bolt guns instead of bolt pistols and chain axes and stuff
This
like
is
that.
true. Oh, okay.
Teeth of Khorne. So you never know, you might get something like this for World Eaters. It's a long shot.
Well, yeah, I mean, Khorne's all about death and killing. It doesn't have to be in close combat.
Khorne
It's not like
cares not from whence the blood flows.
Precisely so.
I think it's more likely to be melee Terminators, but you know, you never know. It could be something like this. But then the big one, I think, is Thousand Sons. So there's been all these rumors for ages, hasn't there, about them getting a new sort of 40k version of the Castellax robots, or not maybe the Castellax, some sort of psi-powered robot that the sorcerers can control. And in White Dwarf 501, there was a lore article saying that because of Vashtor and he's been arsing around with the wormwood in the prior nexus, and it's caused all sorts of problems. Is it called a stilling or something like that? I can't remember what it's called.
Like an area of kind of psychic nullness almost.
Yeah, so basically the lore snippet says that the sorcerers of the Thousand Sons are finding it very difficult to control the Rubic Marines and the Scarab Occult Terminators. It takes all of their concentration just to get them to do basic fighting. So they've had to raid the vaults of Sartorius and Prospero and dig out old robotic machines of war from the Great Crusade era that have been twisted by tech sorcerers. Now, is that a new something that could be coming? So I think these new robots and a tech sorcerer, kind of like the Castellan robots with the little tech priest guy. I think they're the new units that are coming for the Thousand Sons. And then that's the rumor that's been doing the rounds as well. I think Valrak's done videos on it as well. So,
because Thousand Sons were one of the only legion that had their own variant of the Castellax.
That's right. They had the Akia Castellax with the ether fire cannon.
That makes
sense.
Then.
In the video I've just done, there's 3 rumor engine pictures that would hint heavily at some sort of robot, and one of them has got an armor plate on the shin, and you can see stripes. Even though the image is in black and white, one is lighter than the other, and it looks like the same stripes you get on the headdress of the Rubric Marines.
Yeah, intriguing.
So Thousand Sons, I think, are getting a new unit of robots and a tech sorcerer. That's my guess.
Very interesting.
Good work on that.
And then the preview, I think Chaos Knights possibly as well.
You think they might, because obviously you've got the 4 grayed out kind of on the horizon bit on the side there. You think we might get a view of one of those?
I think we might get a silhouette video for a few things, maybe.
So I was one. Sorry, go on, Luke.
Go on, you go first, Ben.
Well, I was wondering, I mean, we'll see World Eaters are coming up next after the Emperor's Children, and we got the, again, you said their name, but I can't remember, the Kill Team Khorne.
Goremongers.
Goremongers. We got the Goremongers for Kill Team, and I thought, oh, there isn't actually a Death Guard Kill Team, is there? I mean, there was the Plague Marines that came in like the Kill Team starter box, but that isn't a specifically kind of Death Guard Kill Team. I wondered whether or not that might then be the next thing that we see is like a Death Guard Kill Team of something unique, like, I don't know, Death Guard cultists or something of that ilk, which would then be a new unit to add into the Codex to kind of fill a role that they don't have already.
Maybe.
Possibly.
Yeah. I mean, my memory's failing me here, but which came first, Krieg or Eldar this year?
This year, Eldar. Eldar was right at the beginning of the year.
It was Eldar.
It was Eldar right at the beginning of the year, then followed by Krieg.
So if we were to assume that, then on this ladder, you'd think World Eaters would definitely be next, then Death Guard,
Which would fit in with the Kill Team release as well, World Eaters being next.
Yeah, as you say, as you say, recently GW seemed to have been doing that, and the same with Warcry. For Age of Sigmar, it's been quite similar. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see, like you say, if we get any more Chaos-themed Kill Teams released beforehand, and that'll give us a good idea what we're going to see next as well. But no, I like your idea for the Thousand Sons for sure. We'll have to see if
I definitely like that.
That pops up, and I think we probably would end up seeing them in Space Marine 2 as well, whatever it'll be, as some new enemies, varieties, which will be awesome to see that brought to life. But moving on to my realm here, it's it's Age of Sigmar. So obviously we've just had the big Soulblight Gravelords release, which to be honest is way bigger than I thought it would actually even be.
Yeah,
We
have
just
they
had
been released
the new
it yet,
campaign
though?
book.
Has it
No,
all
it was
been
in like
released yet?
revealed anyway.
Yeah.
Revealed. So that's the latest thing we've seen, obviously. Next up,
Yeah, because
obviously,
they've just
they
finished
said,
releasing the Gloom Spike Git stuff, haven't they, recently?
yeah, in terms of actually like what's come out. Sorry, yeah, but in terms of the last army we've had revealed, Soul Blight on the roadmap. They've
Must
said
not
obviously
buy
next up.
skeletons, Must not buy skeletons.
So, but yeah, Idenef Deepkin and Nighthaunt are the next on the roadmap, as it were. And again, if we are literally going down, you'd say Ideneth are definitely next. I'm not aware of rumours as to what's definitely coming for Ideneth. I know we've had some rumour engines recently, I think even this last week or so, that looked like there were probably some corals and whatever on them.
Well, there was a splashy one today, weren't there?
Yeah, I think it was today, so yeah, you're right on that. So, but again, I'm not entirely certain what we're necessarily going to get. For my guess is just new character models. I'm hoping we get another cool big beastie for Ideneth, because I think that's the coolest part of the Ideneth is all like these big sea creatures we can get.
Mega shark.
Mega shark, or I know a lot of people have said a mega squid or something like colossal squid or something like that. You'd imagine like a Defiler-esque model, but it's a massive squid.
It'd be proper funny if it was a giant yellow sponge wearing a pair of shorts.
Accompanied by a starfish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But okay, playing devil's advocate though, Deepkin massively lack in terms of infantry. I mean, they've got the 2 units of infantry. and
I will say though,
basically
Ben,
it.
that goes for a lot of Sigmar armies, sadly, because they just haven't had the time yet to release enough for them.
Nothing else, is there?
But yeah, you're right. They probably could do with
They
another,
have
maybe more
Namati with
elite.
swords or Namati with bows. Which flavour of Namati would you
Yeah.
like?
And I know you've
I
said
wonder
the
if
same
we
for
get
like,
some sort of screening infantry that's creatures rather than sea elves.
yeah.
Swarms of crabs.
Well, yeah, that kind of thing. Like
Bring back
like
swarms.
a Gretchen equivalent.
Bring back swarms. Yeah, everybody loved, what was it, that one that went viral? There was the crab on the base of that Warhammer Underworlds warband, wasn't there? Maybe they've gone full on with that and they've thought, you know what? They love the mini sea creatures. Let's give them sea swarms.
And make it snappy.
Make it snappy.
Hey. I'm here all week.
Lovely stuff. But yeah, I mean, it's yet to be seen with Ideneth. It could be anything, to be quite honest.
Same with Nighthaunt. You just don't know, do you?
But one thing for sure with Ideneth, we're going to get some extravagant base work from the base man at GW. So there you go.
I say Nighthaunt is the opposite. Nighthaunt, they've got more infantry than they know what to do with, and almost nothing in terms of the big stuff. You've got the Black Coach, and that's basically it.
Yeah, and it was a surefire sign. They combined, obviously, they've given them the Nighthaunt, the shared new terrain, because that came with Soul Blight. That was the last thing revealed for them, wasn't it? So the other side of that build is
Nighthaunt version or a Soul Blight Grey Lords version.
So we know they've got that, so that kind of makes sense that they're coming as well. And like you say, Ben, another cool big model for the Nighthaunt would be very cool. It's just occurred to me, actually, I don't know if the Ideneth have their own endless spells. Do they have their own endless spells?
They don't. Not at the moment.
And I know that they are trying to now release in this cycle, this season. They're trying to give every army endless spells and faction terrain. They've obviously already got their faction terrain with the.
I was going to say they've got that,
the
shipwreck and stuff.
So maybe we might see them get some endless spells, which could be very cool. I can't lie for an Ideneth. There could be some really cool ideas for that.
Giant shark fin.
Those on the horizon pictures. So obviously, one of them is Caradron, the top right one. That's obvious.
Yeah.
What we thinking the other ones are then? The skulls.
One on the left looks like corn.
That's surely corn.
Caradron,
and then the other one at the bottom.
It's the bottom one. I can't.
Can we zoom in a bit on it?
I can try.
Enhance.
Enhance this. Inspect.
Enhance.
I've enhanced too much. There we go. So it's a bit better.
Still have no idea what I'm looking at there. What the
Chaos Dwarfs.
Well,
I don't know. I can't see what it is.
Is it a wing?
It is a wing, I think.
Oh, okay. So maybe Daughters of Cain?
No, sorry. I know. I think I remember now. I've just realised what I'm looking at. I thought I was looking at something completely different there. I think somebody said actually Flesh Eater Courts.
Flappy thing for flesh.
yeah.
Maybe.
Because this kind of does look like their caverns here, and then you've got the wing of what looks
Until you
to
zoomed
be
in, I
like
thought
one
it was
of
some
their,
sort of blade, some sort of serrated blade.
Yeah.
I believe what people have been saying,
wing,
sorry, is
isn't it?
flesh eater quartz, but I completely forgot about that. So
Okay.
yeah, that in which case they probably won't get too much after, because last year, was it last year even? They got quite a
End
bit.
of the last edition, yeah, they got their book and then it all changed.
Yeah. So if it
much
was
nice
them,
Soulblight stuff there.
that'll be what it is. But we'll see with that. That's going to be later in the year anyway. But yeah, we'll leave that there for Sigmar. I don't have obviously roadmaps, really current updated roadmaps for other stuff particularly, so we can just kind of go off the thing here with shout out any random stuff you think.
Heresy, go on.
Heresy. So if you remember, it was nearly a year ago. I said there would be another big box like Age of Darkness, and they'd release Mark II armor because they did the plastic vehicle crew, didn't they? And it's a proper detailed Mark II Marine. All right, he only goes as far as his thighs, but you wouldn't go to all that trouble, or you would think. You never know, do you, with GW, to design that armor to that level and include those Mark II crewmen. I think Mark II plastic Marines are on the way. I think there's going to be another big, massive box this summer. I've said it for ages, with Mark II Marines in, and then God knows what else. New characters, maybe not new vehicle, but maybe something like some other Dreadnought variant. There's a rumor that Saturnine Terminators are coming. You know, the big, massive shouldered ones.
They've been threatening those for years.
They've been threatening them for ages.
The ones with the heavy bolters above their shoulders.
That's right, yeah. So that's a rumor. So maybe, I don't know, plastic breaches could be in the box.
That would be cool.
But Mark II Marines, I think, are a shoe in. I definitely think there's going to be a big
Marines with breach armor would be very cool.
There's a rumor that there's a rules tidy coming up. So not Heresy 3.0, but Heresy
supplement,
I don't know, 2.5, whatever you want to call it. The Liber books will still be compatible, will still work, but they're going to tidy up the rules, bundling all the FAQs and just clean a few things up. So summer, that's my guess. Horus Heresy, big ass box with a load of Marines in it.
Okay. Yeah, interesting. I've been wondering, they've been promising lots of tanks, and obviously that we've had now kind of all the Mechanicum tanks released. I've been wondering whether or not maybe they'll turn their attention to like the Custodes tanks and release those in plastic. Because at the moment those are resin, but obviously they're trying to fade out some of the larger resin kits and replace it with plastic because it's cheaper for them to produce and sell for a greater profit margin. And so I wonder whether or not we might see some of the kind of Talons of the Emperor, like they did a kind of a big Mechanicus wave, whether they might now turn their attention to all kind of the Custodes, the Dreadnoughts, the tanks, the Flyers, and all that kind of stuff, and produce that in plastic.
Yeah, my other guess, sorry, for that Heresy box was like weapon emplacements, like mobile weapon platforms.
Oh, yeah.
We've not had them in plastic, have we? So.
No, that's true. We haven't. Just throwing this out there. If they did plastic, just thinking out loud, if they did plastic Custodes stuff, then they could do Legions Imperialis Custodes as well, and that would be amazing.
Which they said they might do as well. They said they might do that.
Give me my mini Primarch models already, Imperialis. That's how you'll get me to buy Imperialis.
That would be a cool tease, actually. If we release a new Primarch, and it's like
I feel like it's going to be a running joke with these prediction shows that we'll just keep asking for these Primarch, mini Primarch, and eventually it will come.
They should come in Kinder eggs.
Kinder eggs. Oh, that would be awesome. I would definitely collect lots of Kinder eggs for that. Yeah, every day of the week.
Yeah, that's my guess for Heresy. And you're saying tanks, Ben?
I was thinking, tanks. They said this is the year of tanks.
Yeah, they specifically said tanks, not vehicles, didn't they?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and so that's why I was thinking, okay, well, what tanks haven't they now done? Well, they haven't done the Custodes stuff yet, which led me on to then thinking, Custodes for Legions Imperialis. That would be quite cool. But in terms of other stuff that we might see, Necromunda, I'm wondering whether or not we might get a tease for something like that, because they're doing kind of the additional books. Well, we've got... They've just done the Ash Waste book. They've done the Squats book.
Nomads got released, didn't they? Or
that's it. So the Ash Waste Nomads. The Ash Waste Nomads book. They've done the Squats book. We are now ripe, therefore, I would suggest for them to launch into kind of the next gang sort of thing. And I would love to see Scavies. I would love to see them do the Underhive, Depths of the Sump.
Book of the Mutant.
Book of the Sump. Book of the Sump.
Yeah.
And give us Scavies, and I would be just shut up and take my money.
Scavies, Ratlins, Underhive Scum.
Yeah.
Well, I
That
mean,
would
we've
be
got
really cool.
We've got sorry, Hive Scum.
We've got Hive Scum, but yeah, the
There's all
really
sorts
kind
to
of
do with the sump.
dregs at the bottom of the sump type stuff. And then you
Give
can
me
do boats.
Necromunda Skaven.
Necromunda boats, boating on the sump.
I mean, Marshall as well for walking the cursed earth.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Enforcer Marshall with his trench coat and shotgun. Gimme.
I'm possibly just wish listing there rather than what I think it will
Yeah.
actually get shown at Adepticon.
But no,
I love
that,
to see them
you
off
know
the
that
stump.
I think
Maybe it'll be a new gang that's going to venture forth into Secundus, like the Vansar Tech Hunters.
That would
Maybe
be
like
cool, yeah.
the Orlok Treasure Raiders or
Well, we've got. I mean, they've had the Aranthian kind of schism storyline, and we've got the recently released the Priest of the Prophet of the Redemption. So maybe if they were to do kind of, I don't know, Redemptionist Crusaders or something, venturing into Secundus to try and purge the Xenos, that would be a cool kind of add-on. Like they added the Vensar Tack Hunters. Give me, Cawdor Crusaders. That would be really cool.
Well, I think
awesome.
either way, it's probably about right timing, like you say, for the next big release for the season.
Yeah.
So that wouldn't surprise me. But yeah,
Blood Bowl.
and then
Bowl.
Blood Bowl, maybe a new team. And God knows, I mean, with Blood Bowl, it's not easy to predict. It could be anything.
No,
Well, they said they were going to do all the teams, weren't they? So you've only got 2 teams left that they need to do in plastic.
Khemri hasn't been done yet.
High Elves and Tomb Kings, or Khemri, I should say. High Elves and Khemri.
Khemri Blood Bowl team would be a cool release.
I can tell you exactly what's going to happen because I've bought the rulebook and the second season almanac. They'll bring a new rulebook out.
Yeah, new edition of Blood Bowl.
Oh, you can almost.
We're playing second season edition. If that's the case, I'm not buying another rulebook.
No, that's fine. I've got the second season edition
I
rules
wouldn't
as
blame
well.
you there. But what was I going to say? Were the Chaos Dwarf team? That was the last team that came out, wasn't it?
Yes.
it?
And was
Las
that Las Vegas
Dwarves have been
Open
the
or
most
the
recent.
one before that? I think it was the one before that.
One before that.
Yeah, so it probably is due maybe for another Blood Bowl reveal of some sort. Yeah.
Yeah.
Surprised me.
So Khemri, Piles, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's all sorts of random stuff you can do in there with that, so we'll have to wait and see.
Well, I mean, the High Elf team is supposed to have things like Lion Warriors and Shadow Warriors and stuff, and we've had the Elven kind of generic elf.
Prince Moranian star player as well.
Yeah, that would be cool.
That'd be pretty cool. It'd probably be something completely different, like Sartosan Pirate Team or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, something we've never even, or a Far Albion Cup team or something with giants.
The Cathay Crusaders.
Yeah, I think we've covered most there, haven't we? Because we did Old World at the start, so I don't think we're really missing much. Because we usually we always end up getting the comment from somebody who's a fan of a game, and they're like, "You missed our game," and I'm like, "Oh."
Imperialis. My guess would be another campaign, but maybe like some more Space Marine stuff, like Vindicators in epic scale.
Maybe an expansion on more dark Mechanicum.
Mechanica stuff.
Ooh, that'd be good.
Maybe
More
that'd be pretty
spidery
cool.
things.
But yeah,
what else is there? Warcry and Underworlds. That's about it, isn't it?
Oh, Kill
true,
Team, I suppose, the
Underworlds.
smaller games.
Underworlds,
like you say, Ben, maybe you
deck
could.
and another warband.
Yeah, I feel like it's too soon for another Kill Team announcement.
Yeah, I
just
don't think
yet.
there'll be a Kill Team.
But I don't know, maybe. Then Warcry. I really don't know what's going on with. There's been more rumors again recently that Mordheim's coming back, or something very similar to Mordheim.
I would be very
They continue to keep coming out.
It was around during the time that Old World is set. It was still there, still, causing all manner of mayhem and trouble.
Yeah, and it would fit perfectly. They've had Old World. We've had that for like
just over a year
a year and a half. Really, we'll be coming up to.
Well, released February last year.
Just over a year. So I don't think that'll be revealed soon. But if we're talking like this year in general, my prediction for this end of this year, re-release of somewhat Mordheim, because they've given us a while with Old World now. I think it would be pretty awesome.
Just going to throw this out there: new edition of Space Hulk. That could be a surprise.
I know that was the other one we were thinking, wasn't it?
Well, we talked about that, didn't we? Because the Bioscience Terminated miniature had one of those themed bases again, like they did for into
Space
the
Hulk.
Gallo Dark before that was even a thing, before it got announced. Everyone was like, what's that base there with the little texture? I remember the little cat device thing, the
Yeah.
little remote control. That was on not boarding action, Gallo Dark terrain, but nobody knew what it was. Bioscience Terminated is on that kind of terrain again. We need assault Terminators in the new Terminator scale.
We do.
Yeah,
Space
it's a
Hulk.
good shout. New Space Hulk. Might not be this reveal show, but maybe like a Warhammer preview show in the
It
summer.
would be
It
an
might
amazing surprise to suddenly throw out at LVO. And by the way, here's the new edition of Space Hulk with the new assault
Yep.
Terminators.
Hook your wallet up to an IV line now because it's getting emptied.
Yeah,
Oh
pretty much.
God! If they did sculpted like the corridors, if they did those using the same technology that they've
Well,
done for the boarding action terrain,
if
just
within the next half a
mind.
year to a year they are re-releasing a Space Hulk and Morehammer game, yeah, I will be out of pocket. So we'll have to wait and see.
You only need one kidney, right?
I believe so.
You
I
can
believe so.
Sell a kidney. It doesn't have to be yours, but
That's a good point. That yeah.
Exactly.
Do a bit of a Van off the fall and
bit of Vandalf. I love it. Right, guys. Let's move on. I think from predictions. I think we've covered a lot there,
I think
really,
we've
if not
probably
more than we
covered that.
needed to. We'll go with community questions. I think now
I think that's
this week
probably a good shout.
we've not done them for a couple of episodes, so we'll catch up on some of those. Starting with one of our Discord followers and long-time subscribers. Of course, it's SBonnet82. Is there a tournament, narrative event, or convention that you have your eye on but not being able to make, and why is it on your bucket list?
no, and yes.
No, and yes. I'll go straight away with this one because me and Sai pretty much covered it last episode because they announced that the Grand Narrative's coming back this year.
Yeah.
Because it's now in the UK. It's coming back again this year. I really wanted to go last year. I couldn't. It was on my partner's birthday weekend. I'd have been in a lot of trouble if I'd have gone last year. Luckily, it's meant to be a lot earlier this year. It might even be pushed back to October. So I'll definitely be able to hopefully go if I can get tickets. So that would be my kind of dream event now, really. Because I think that would just be an ace long weekend.
I agree. I mean, if I had time, the money, and could get a ticket to it, I think Grand Narrative would be it for me as well. It's exactly the type of event that I love doing. I love running narrative campaigns and stuff. I'd love to go and play in something that has that huge kind of narrative tie-in. I will throw in that if I could go to any event, like if there was an event and I could describe this is the event that I want to go to, then the event that I have long dreamed of running / playing in is I want to be at an event that is linked, like epic, Legions Imperialis scale games, 40k scale games, and Gothic games, and have all 3 game systems running. Maybe even have a kill team game running as well, and all of the different games interlinked narratively. And then the ultimate bit would be to have like a separate room that is like the command bunker, and have people in there issuing orders, getting maps and stuff brought to them, having aerial photos and stuff brought of like games that are ongoing, and issuing orders to the front, trying to control like the entirety of the battle sphere. So so dispatch this fleet to do this, send those operatives on this secret mission, and they're passing messages through. But so they're playing a massive meta game, which all the other games are aspects of. That would be my dream event.
That sounds pretty wicked, to be fair. I can't say that I haven't had dreams of something cool like that myself. Like, it would be really cool to do if it was a thing. If we're going down that road, I think I've said to you guys before, this is going to extend this question, but there we go. You got me off on one now.
No, it's fine.
If anyone knows Wargamer Girl, she I think she's Canadian. No, I think she is American, but it's in Utah. Every year they do it. It's the Valhalla retreat. So they do. It's a lodge in Utah in the mountains, and they do. I think it's almost a week now. It's like 4 or 5 days in this super massive kind of gorgeous lodge. where they have a massive like Viking style gaming hall, food all 4 or 5 days in like a canteen style. There's a pool, there's like a nice pool, everything there, spa facilities and whatever, and everybody's just pretty much gaming and drinking for like 4 or 5 days straight, miniature gaming.
That's cool.
I'd love to be able to go to that, and also one of my way bigger dream kind of things was, if I ever had the pull to do it, would be to actually run it in Europe, but actually run it in, and obviously if it's in Europe, get hold of like a castle-esque kind of venue,
Yeah,
right?
we've got castles. We just run it in a castle.
And you got to imagine being in a proper hall in a castle, running an event like that for 4 or 5 days straight.
That would be very, very cool.
That would be, if we're talking like way out there kind of dreams of an event, that would be it for Europe. But yeah. Si.
Well, yeah, I'll echo what you said about narrative event stuff. But tournament-wise, no, there's nothing particular that floats my boat that I'd be looking forward to. But convention-wise, I would love to go to Las Vegas Open in person. Same again for Adepticon, just to be there, to be on the floor when they have these seminars and you get previews that people don't see online during the preview shows and stuff like that, and just to see all the stuff that's painted and meet other people. Other than that, I don't think there's any conventions at the minute that I can think of that I'd want to go to. UK Games Expo, I'm probably going to go to that. That's not just Warhammer though, is it? That's everything.
Yeah.
That was really good last time when I went, so
Yeah,
I'm probably going to go again this year. And
it's back up to full as well now, because since COVID, it kind of took a big hit really and was shrunk quite a lot, but it's picked up a lot again since.
Yeah, I didn't go last year, but I went in 2023 and it was back to normal in 2023. It was massive. I must admit, I was a bit apprehensive walking around. I was like, oh, there's a lot of people in close proximity here, but it was for the launch of Shatterpoint. Shatterpoint had just come out at that point.
Yeah.
So that was good. Got to play that on the day as well. So
yeah. Actually, again, if we were thinking about awesome events, like Luke saying about running an event in the castle, imagine running something like a Shatterpoint event at Galaxy's Edge at Disneyland.
Oh god, yeah, that would be
very cool. Awesome, wouldn't it? Or even like Marvel Crisis Protocol event at the Marvel. Is it the one in New York or something? I think where there's the
I'm not sure,
Avengers style hotel or whatever it is. Yeah, anything like that would be pretty sweet. But yeah, there's endless possibilities with that question. So I suppose best way of saying Barnett, great question in the end.
Yeah,
you got us chatting about way more than even the first thing really. So there you go. Moving on to some Reddit bits that we got sent. We'll see how many we can get through here. And I'm going to butcher your username here. Anarian's True Air. We'll go with that.
Sounds right. Very simple Game of Thrones reference that, I think.
Very, very simple question. Contrast or classic paint for a beginner?
Contrast.
For a beginner, yeah. Contrast is probably much easier. But then I would still use classics just to get the basics of learning that method, because if you just rely on contrast completely and utterly, then you won't learn anything going forward apart from how to use contrast speed paints or whatever. So a mix of both would be ideal, but contrast is a brilliant tool for beginners. It really is.
Yeah, because
especially if you spray something black and then do a zenithal lighter coat, or just dry brush it with something lighter and then just contrast paint on it, depending on what contrast paint it is, because some are like washes, aren't they? But some are just incredible, like Flesh Terror's red. What a contrast paint that is. Talisar blue. Amazing.
From the point of view of getting an army so that it looks decent really quickly, which as a beginner, I think probably what you want to do. Contrasting every time.
Unless you're someone who's already somewhat arty and has done some sort of painting, and you're talking about you're literally a beginner, you've not really done any painting at all. Yeah, there's just no other option for me other than saying contrast or speed paints, whatever you want to go with. So yeah, that would be our answer, I suppose. And if you wanted to then build on that with some actual paintwork, go for it. We've got this one, Ben, you did say before we started, not really much of a question, but more of a rant. But I did actually miss off on here. He did actually ask if they're coming in, I suppose, when they might be coming, because they kind of missed them somewhere. Humble Oracles asked, or said, Warriors of Chaos started releasing in August 2024, and we still haven't heard a word about the Forsaken kit being released. They were shown in the preview of the army, so it's odd that everything else is available except that one kit. you'll have more of an idea about that than anybody, Ben, here. Or
The Forsaken
I will,
kit.
I suppose.
The Forsaken kit was always a bit of a rubbish kit anyway. To be honest, I never really liked it. It did not. It struggled, as a lot of Games Workshop sculptors have struggled, to try and convey kind of wild mutation whilst still making a kit that looked regimented. And what you ended up getting was a bunch of slightly weird-looking Chaos Warriors. I can fully imagine that there may have been a decision to redesign the kit. Like maybe that's delayed it.
Because I mean, they've already had their releases, haven't they?
They have. No, everything's for Chaos is released.
So maybe they did just
Elves.
decide to cut them or something. I don't know. And maybe you say, like you're saying, if we get more releases in the future, like you say, they might redesign them.
Yeah, I think that's more likely because it just wasn't a great kit.
So if you like the idea of them, Humble Oracle, then maybe hang on because you might get a better version of them or something eventually.
Hopefully.
There you go.
Equally, I'm sure there's probably other third-party companies out there that are producing better-looking kind of mutant Chaos Warrior miniatures.
Yeah, for sure. But we have only actually got one more here. I forgot it's just a bit of a longer one, so that's why. Sigmar-based one, Fuss Durar. Is it just me, or is list building for Age of Sigmar 4th edition an incomprehensible nightmare for everybody? Battle formation, manifestation law. These regiments, I guess each regiment has one hero and then 0 to 3 units, but only at one box size unless you reinforce it, and then 2 boxes worth. And what units you can take is limited to who the commander is. Does it matter during the game which dudes are grouped with which hero? Like, do they all have to stay together? Can a buff hero use his buff on dudes from a different regiment? This is stupid. Does everybody hate it?
I think where it's coming from, to be honest, because the way they previewed the rules for 4th edition and choosing armies and stuff, they made it sound as though it was the easiest thing in the world and it was simple. But when you actually look at it, sometimes you're thinking, what the it's not as simple as they're making it out to be. It can be quite confusing, I think. But maybe that's just my experience in building Age of Sigmar armies, but it's nowhere near as clear as they made it out to be. They're like, oh yeah, it's dead easy. You just pick a hero and then just pick this. No. There's too many buts. That's the problem.
I completely agree with you, Si. I'll give a shout out here to Vince Venturella, Warhammer Weekly. They obviously do their weekly episode, and obviously they're heavily Sigmar based. He actually did an episode, I think it was a couple of weeks ago, and they were actually talking about this topic with list building. It's one of the things that people really aren't liking with 4th edition. They've tried to, and it's a problem with 40k and Sigmar, to be honest, recent editions.
Yeah, the 40k choosing like detachments, choosing this, choosing that, choosing that. They made that sound like it's simple. Is it bollocks?
They're mad, eh? List writing was much simpler.
They're trying to simplify it, which they kind of have, but in a way they've almost also overcomplicated it in some ways. Mostly for the reason he's saying as well, for like buying things as well, which makes it really awkward because you're now having to buy, especially for Sigmar, the way they've designed it, and the way the game is working now, your buffs from your heroes, you might as well take reinforced units to make it worthwhile.
Yeah.
If you don't, it's kind of useless. Like for my Skaven Scryer, like the Warplock Engineer, it lets you shoot free Overwatch on one unit in the enemy shooting phase, or at the end of the enemy shooting phase. And to make that worthwhile and to take him in a regiment or whatever, you've got to take a unit that's worth using on. So like my Rattling guns, I can take 3 or I can reinforce it for 6. It just makes sense to take the 6 and get that free round of shooting in a point sense. But then it makes the regiment building weird and the box buying odd. And like he said, you have to take certain heroes in certain regiments to unlock different units. It
should just be everything has a points value, and then just a set of things saying you can only have so many of that, you can only have so many of that, and that's it. Yeah. People have paid the money for the models. Let them do what they want. As long as it's not super cheesy and super broken, it's fine.
I confess I haven't played 4th edition Age of Sigmar yet, but I think the complaint that is put forth about list building for Age of Sigmar, and like you say, Si, for the edition 40k to a degree, it is a system that is trying to balance list writing and balance list writing against forcing you to buy models. And that was the thing that killed Fantasy 8th edition, was Games Workshop decided to turn the rules system into a push to try and push you to buy more models.
Yeah, stop being snidey bastards with the rules.
If you make cool models, I think this is the problem I think Games Workshop forget. If you make cool models and you give us fun rules, we will buy models. You don't need
absolutely.
to incentivize us to buy models. We're already addicts. We're already hooked. You don't need to try and jam the crack into our veins, as it were. Some of the best list writing kind of examples that I've seen is if you look back at older editions of 40k and fantasy, like 6th edition fantasy, 3rd edition 40k, they were about being able to tailor your army to the models that you wanted to use. So the list writing almost kind of supported you in wanting to buy models. It was about being able to put war.
But now it tends to be more, you're building your list toward the well, at least with
models
Sigmar,
they want to sell you.
Yeah, there's that, but also they are going more match play focus, where the secondary objectives and things that you have, especially in Sigmar, I've noticed it, and I know everybody's talking about it. You're building your regiments and your army to fit around the secondary objectives in the game, so that if they pop up, your army can deal with them in different ways, right? So like my Skaven army, if I'm going match play, I know I need to take like 2 Doom Wheels to be a prospectors on the flanks, and
they're getting like video game developers. It's like, stop assuming you know what we want based on the feedback from the well-known clicks and the competitive clicks and the big YouTubers. No, just do what you were doing. Make cool models that people want to buy with some cool rules. And like Ben says, we're already in over our heads. We'll just go and buy it.
If you build it,
and then we'll buy it again.
We'll buy it and buy it and buy it.
And it's I know for a fact that most people who've been playing Age of Sigmar 4th edition have said that the new Path to Glory campaign book, what's it called? Ravaged Coast. A lot of people have been saying that that's their favourite way to play the new edition over like the standard match play rules, because it makes the list building way more fun as well. So I completely get that.
List building works in Warhammer the Old World. It is far more freeform.
Oh yeah,
and it is far more about just allowing you.
Yeah, exactly. It just says you can only have so many of these. You can only have so many of these.
But now here are some variant narrative lists that if you really want to go all, in Empire Knights, or if you really want to go all, orcs and goblins mounted, here is a list that will let you do that.
I personally think it's just a bit lazy from them as well, because they know if they design it this way, it's less points updates for them. Because like if it was to be like the Old World where you could take anything and everything has a points value, like it kind of more like it used to be, they've got to then update and balance the points for absolutely everything. And I think it's their lazy way of not having to do so much of that.
Yeah, and the way they write some detachments as well, it's like, it just annoys me. Like, oh, if you want to play this, if you don't have any hand in Craft World, you need to buy a shitload of Wraithguard to be even remotely useful. No, I don't want to do that. I want to be a Andon, but just have a few.
In my day, did it right the first time and then left it be.
Well, yeah.
But channeling size old man here.
I suppose if we're like going back, very last thing to sort of answer the question, I would just say, buy what you want to buy that you think's cool. Build the best list out of that you can, but don't do it toward, if you're a beginner, don't do it towards this whole match play thing that they're trying to get you to do. Pick up the new Ravaged Coast campaign book, and it's a lot more flexible. You can build more what you want to do, take what you want to take, build your army through a Path to Glory campaign. Do it that way. That would be my suggestion. And if it is that you want to be a match play player, you're screwed. Anyway.
Well, then you're just wrong.
Yeah. But yeah, hopefully that does kind of answer the question there. And that is what we've got really for community questions. If you want to get yours in, guys, Discord channel, we have a podcast question channel on there where you can pop them in, and Reddit, sorry, I'm always looking out for your questions on there that you might send in. So I think that'll be it for the episode this week, guys.
Yeah.
Where can we find you, Ben, since you're at the top?
You can find me
Thanks
over
for
on
coming
my
on.
channel, 90% Geek. My most recent video was me rabbiting all about the Beastmen and what I think we're going to get in the latest Arcane Journal. I do have, it depends if I get the time for it in the next week or so, I do have something March from a Crag themed planned, which is, we were talking about Space Marine 2. I've got Space Marine 2, but I have not had the chance to play it. I got it at Christmas time, and I have not yet had the chance to play it. And it would seem an ideal time to do a video of my first, time playing it through.
Outing.
Would seem to be for March from a Crag. So it may well be me and my lovely wife doing a video, the
That'd be
two of us playing it kind of together for the first time ever, and stick that up on my channel if we get that done.
Well,
Yeah,
it'd
we
be
need
cool
to
'cause,
stream it, don't we? We definitely need to
yeah,
stream it.
Well, we'll have to try and find that. We'll maybe find the time for that. The what was I going to say? At least when we do the March from a Crag episode, Ben, if you don't have any minis painted, then you can maybe tell us what you think of Space Marine 2 if you've had a chance to play it. That'd be cool. But Sai, yourself?
Yeah, you can find me on my own channel at Hobby Waffle on YouTube. I've just done a video that we were talking about earlier about the Thousand Suns and what might be coming for Chaos and stuff like that. It's a bit of a rampant speculation one, but I do like that kind of video, just trying to guess what's coming next, especially when they drop things like rumor engines that you can sort of dig into and try and work out what's coming. Like the Splash one today could be anything really, couldn't it? It could be Old World, it could be Sigmar. Someone suggested it could be Lava.
Ooh.
So there's that as well. There was smoke on another base, weren't there, the other day? I think was it last week? There was like smoke coming off something. So Dave the Smoke Guy's been out. So are the lava and the smoke from the same thing? You just don't know.
Dwarves.
Oh yeah. Or there's a salamander tease on that Codex thing, isn't there? On the black and white pictures where it says on the horizon.
Yeah, there was, yeah.
So there's that as well. And then, sorry, I went off on a tangent there, didn't we? Other than that, you find me on Blue Sky and Instagram as well. And also this Saturday, if you go into ChillCon in Sheffield, you will find me there as well.
Yes, of course.
Hillsborough campus, Saturday, 22nd of March, ChillCon, I'll be there. So if you are going, come and say hello.
Nice.
But yeah, that's where you'll find me.
Cool. And yeah, definitely go and check out that video Si's done, because that does. I'll be off to watch that because I haven't had a chance, Si. So that sounds very. I love rampant speculation videos.
There's a few nice images from Space Marine 2 in it as well.
Yes, get in there. I will be off to play some more of that hopefully in the next week or two, but we'll see if I get the time alongside painting some Ultramarines. But as always, guys, you will find me on here. I'll be clipping things up probably in the next week or two because we've got a few different topics we've chatted about this week to be able to do. But otherwise you can find me mostly Blue Sky at wargamingluke there, chatting, and of course on our Discord channel. Join, link in the description for that one. But until next time, guys, stay safe out there, and as always, happy wargaming. See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.